The Pesky Report is sponsored by High and Happy Catering out of Springfield, Massachusetts. Their chef, Michael Best, can cook anything you want with or without being infused with cannabis. Check out some of what they make on their Instagram at High and Happy Catering or call them at 413-785-8999. You'll be happy you did.
Welcome to the Pesky Report, a podcast for Red Sox fans.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pesky Report. There's a technical issue going on here. Hang on a sec. Sorry. There we go. Welcome back to the Pesky Report. I'm Ed Hand, and I'm here, episode 159, as the title suggests, with Greenville Drive outfielder Phillip Sikes. Now, do you go by Phil, Phillip?
Either or. Everybody.
Either or?
Yeah,
Right.
Phillip, whatever.
How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great.
Now, you got called up recently to Greenville, and we were talking about this a little bit before we started recording here. But how are you liking it there in Greenville, North Carolina?
I'm loving it. The humidity is a little different than Virginia. I can say that. Town's awesome. Field's great. I mean, I can't complain about anything.
You grew up in Texas, right?
Yeah, Paris, Texas. Mm-hmm.
How does it compare? How does the heat and humidity compare to that?
It's pretty. I mean, it's a little hotter in Texas. I can say that. I just went home for a few days over the All-Star break, and man, it got up to like 102, 103. So it was up there.
Yeah, no, that's you know, I lived in Arizona for a bit, and I remember people saying that it's like, oh well, you know, it's the dry heat. If it's that hot. If it's that hot, it doesn't matter.
You just feel like you're in an oven, you know? Yeah. It's just on you.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got I'm joined here with Tim as well. How are you doing, Tim? As usual, the goose to my Maverick.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
What's going on, Tim?
Sorry I'm a little late.
No biggie.
I had some technical difficulties.
Good.
What's important is you're here now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So you know, it's always interesting this time of year with the draft. You see a lot of guys. The earlier guys tend to sign. The guys pick a little bit later, depending on where they are. It doesn't always happen, and that was the case for you a few years ago. What's your process through the draft look like, Phil? And how did your first draft go compared to your second one last year?
My first draft was a little different. I was at junior college, and when I got drafted, actually, I was playing summer ball in the Northwoods, and I believe I got picked up in the 33rd round, and it's kind of odd. I didn't really I expected to hear calls throughout the day, and I didn't really hear a whole lot. And then they called me and told me they picked me, and I was kind of shocked. I was excited. I didn't really know what to think, but it was right after the draft. I got a call from my coaches at TCU as well, so I kind of had a tough decision to make. Ended up praying about it, going to TCU, having COVID happen, getting picked up again, and then I was ready to go play professional baseball at that point.
What did you do during the COVID year? Because I know we had Brendan Salucci on the other day, and he was talking about playing in a men's league.
Yeah.
But what do you do when you're in college with that?
Yeah, it was really weird as far as the summer leagues that were going on at that time, because everything was kind of shut down. So I kind of played in a a local summer league. It was called like the 5-tool Collegiate League. So it was just a bunch of local guys. They just got together and just played there. So ended up working out. I played probably 14 to 20 games over the summer, so it was enough.
Was it so it was mostly just about staying in shape, I would guess.
Yeah, just staying in shape.
What was the feel of that league like? Was it very different than what you'd gotten used to with
yeah, it was a little different. It was way more laid back, but it was nice. There was a bunch of guys. I mean, we had a solid team, a bunch of SEC guys and Big 12 guys. So I mean, we had fun with it. So it was a lot different, but it was, like I said, it was super relaxed.
Now, did you grow up playing baseball, or was it a later discovery for you?
Yeah, I grew up playing baseball. So my high school, I went to a pretty small high school. So I played a few sports. I played football, baseball, track, and basketball.
Oh wow! So you were like whole year round, you were always
I was always kind of doing something.
Yeah, was baseball your favorite, or was it just the one that you were the best at? When and I have to ask this: when did you realize you were better than everybody else at it?
I mean, it's kind of weird because I knew I was pretty good, but I wouldn't say I got when I started really noticing until maybe junior college. Honestly, that's when I kind of started making a bigger leap, I would say.
And you were in New Mexico for a year first. Was that junior college also, or was it?
No, it was university. Yeah, I went to the University of New Mexico, which is in Albuquerque. The Lobos. Went there for a year. Ended up transferring. I loved it there. I made really good friends. I love the coaches. It just the coaches after that, my freshman year, they kind of just left. So I ended up following one of the coaches to Pima, which is the junior college I went to in Tucson, Arizona. And then from there, I went to TCU.
How'd you like it in Arizona?
I loved it. I loved Arizona. Tucson, it was awesome. I loved it.
I was in the other part of the state there. I was in Tempe.
In Tempe? Yeah.
But I absolutely love it out there as well. It was definitely not an easy thing. I left for my home state also after a year, so it's I definitely get how that can be. Now, did you grow up a Rangers fan, Astros fan?
Yeah, I grew up an Astros fan, so I lived in Houston for quite a while as well. So I was going to Astros games when they sucked, honestly. When they had Carlos Lee, Miguel Tejada, Roy Oswalt.
Oh man!
Yeah, when they had that crowd.
I'm having flashbacks.
Yeah, right.
Thinking about that. Which was your Who was your favorite?
I was a big fan of. I always liked Biggio, Lance Berkman.
Yeah,
both of them. Yeah,
Berkman's a good one. Now, who do you think your game is the most similar to?
Man, I will say I've been looking at Trey Turner's swing pretty lately.
Oh, that's a pretty good swing.
Yeah, he has He's quick. I really like his game. He plays the game really hard. He's quick, fast, play defense.
That's future Red Sox Trey Turner.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can hope.
Yep.
Now, so draft number 2, you end up going in the 18th round, right?
Yep.
What's draft day like there? Because they've cut it down from 40 rounds to 20 rounds. We already missed the COVID year, so there are a lot more guys available after that weird 5-round draft.
Yeah.
How are you feeling going into that day? And I guess it would have been day 3 when you got picked up. So what's that process?
I mean, I was excited for the whole draft process again, but I knew it was going to be stressful, especially the year I got picked up because there were so many good college players coming out that year. But you just don't know. You never really know what to expect with the draft. I feel like you get told that you can go and between this round and this round, and then you look up and you're in round 14, 15. You're like, what's going on? So you never really know, and I'm thankful to be picked.
Yeah, so you were pretty much, you knew you were signing when you got picked.
Yeah, I knew I was ready to go play professional baseball. It was about that time.
What for the guys that just got drafted? What what would be your advice for starting off in the FCL and getting used to professional baseball and everything?
I would just tell them just to soak everything in, just try to stay calm. I remember going and I was kind of anxious just because you got to start and get into that new routine and just meet a bunch of new people and stuff. But I loved it. Looking back on it, I was really happy and thankful to be able to do it.
What's the orientation process like?
Well, we had I remember that they put us through like a little mini camp. So we didn't do a whole bunch of baseball activity for like 4 or 5 days, and we kind of we did a bunch of meetings. We did a bunch of talks over like nutrition, like how we do it in Boston. We do a bunch of stuff about strength and conditioning. Just kind of get you used to the culture, pretty much.
What do they, as far as conditioning goes? Is that like during the season, during the off season?
A little bit of both. I mean, so with the Red Sox, we have a conditioning test, and it's like 300-yard shuttles. So before you can, that's how they know you have to pass that in spring training before they can send you off and say you're like game ready. So I mean, there's a few players that are exempt from it, obviously. But yeah, you have to finish those 300-yard shuttles before you can do anything, pretty much.
That's interesting. You don't really hear a lot about the specifics with that, especially for baseball. I feel like you'll hear about like people failing physicals in football or that sort of thing in training camp. You don't really hear about that a ton for baseball.
I was shocked.
Now once you started playing games, seems like you took off in a hurry just to read some of your numbers off for people at home. 392 batting average, 464 on base, 622 slugging percentage. It's good for a 1.086 OPS. 8 doubles, 3 homers, 5 stolen bases over 84 plate appearances. So you could say you did pretty well there. Maybe overmatched the league a little bit. Did you think that you were a little over-prepared from college ball for it, or was it?
Yeah, I would say I was pretty prepared for it. I mean, facing those Friday night arms every weekend and stuff. I mean, I will say I saw some when I got there. I was seeing some velo pretty quick. A lot of those guys are throwing 96 to 100. So. I would say that was a big change, and everybody nowadays is throwing like the high spin rate fastball up in the zone. So it took me a little bit seeing that pitch just to kind of get used to it, just recognize it a little better. But
so as a hitter, does the spin, because we hear about the spin rate a lot as fans, but what does that actually mean? What is for when you see that, what does that look like?
So pretty much in the box, it just looks like he's getting it looks like the ball's almost going up if it's a high spin rate, but in reality, it's just staying on plan. It's just not going down at all. So you have to think about hitting the top of the ball pretty much to stay on that plane to be able to get to it.
Oh man, is it just a lot of trial and error getting used to that?
Yeah, I mean, but there's stuff like we do machine balls that you can train and help with that stuff. But yeah, it is a big adjustment. After you see it a few times, you have to start making that adjustment to get on top of it.
So for training purposes, I know they have these new pitching machines that can kind of like mimic the arm slot of the pitchers. Have you used one of those?
I don't know if I've used one that can do the arm slots, but I've used some crazy machines. They have these machines now that you can just sit back on an iPad and click what pitch you want to throw and what location and from a lefty or righty. It's nuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the biggest difference between the FCL and college ball for you?
I would say probably just I would say there's a lot more, like I was saying, there's a lot more velocity being thrown. You get a lot more fastballs, I would say. And it was hot as hell. It was hot as hell. It was hot as hell in Fort Myers. Golly, I was dying the first 3 weeks because I was sweating so much. I couldn't even play a full game almost. I would start catching cramps in like the 5th or 6th, and I'd have to get pulled. But
man, that's no, that doesn't sound like sound like the most fun.
It took me a little bit to get used to it.
But starting up this season in Salem, it must have been pretty exciting getting to know what you were going to be doing full season ball, knowing you were going to have that whole full big league season. How'd Salem go? How is it starting there?
I love Salem. Salem is a good spot to be. Especially we had a really good manager, Luke Mons. He's a great guy. Salem as a town, it's nice. Kind of an older retirement town, it seems like. The field graveyard. It is a graveyard. Literally though, like you can crush a ball and it not even hit the wall, and it's crazy. Like balls that hit off the wall here in Salem just fly out here in Greenville. So it's a game changer, honestly.
Yeah, just looking at your home run rate right now, you had 5 over about 3 times as many at bats that you've had in Greenville, and you have 4 now. So yeah, that's pretty. That seems, and I mean with guys like Blaze Jordan, there you look at at his home run power, and you look at the totals, and you wonder like, oh, okay, that makes sense considering he's got 25 doubles, 8 homers.
Yeah, like he was telling me the other day he hit a ball in Salem he hit a ball like 108, and it hit off the bottom of the wall. He got a single. Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be one of those things where it's like you hit it so hard.
You're
almost like laughing because it's going to be you think it's going out. It just doesn't.
Yeah, that's where you just kind of laugh like, wow,
Yeah. What so you got called up a few weeks ago to high A. What's that like when they tell you? Did you see it coming?
No, I didn't see it coming really. I mean, I was just hoping, because I knew the draft was coming soon, so I was hoping there was going to be some moving parts and I was just going to be a part of that. But just after a game, we were playing in Lynchburg, and our manager just came out and just kind of announced it to the team, which is pretty awesome.
Just like, hey, Phil's going out.
Yeah, he was like, so-and-so, he was talking about the game, and he was like, oh, Phillip Sikes won't be with us anymore. Congratulations, shook his hand, shook everybody's hand,
Has it been a big change for you, Greenville versus Salem, or is it all just baseball?
Yeah, it's not a big change. Pretty solid baseball. I will say, though, because we were on the road when I was in Salem, we started a 2-week road trip, so I was already on the road for 1 week. And then when I got moved up, they just started a 2-week road trip. So I was on the road for 3 weeks, living in a hotel out of the same suitcase for a while.
Oh, jeez.
So, yeah, it was pretty rough for a little bit. And then we got back and went straight on that All-Star break. So I'm finally kind of getting used to the apartments we live in here. So.
Yeah, how? Because that's something that like we hear about a lot, just as far as the living conditions for minor leaguers. So what was the hotel you were staying at? What was that situation? I guess.
They usually have it. They put us in some pretty decent hotels, like a La Quinta, Courtyard Marriott's.
Yeah,
pretty solid.
Those are fine.
yeah, they're not bad at all. But the apartments they have us in Greenville here, they're nice. Like I would like living here if I was at school or something. They're nice.
Do you like that aspect of the game? Do you like traveling and staying in different hotels every week?
I like it, dude. I like traveling and seeing different places. We went to where did we go last week? We went to New Jersey or New York, and on our off day, I took a trip to New York City, and it was awesome.
Yeah. I actually got to go to one of those games in the Hudson Valley with you guys. I think it was the one that Zephyrhan was starting.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big win. I think you had a stolen hit and a stolen base, and you were leading off. Cavades homered, Northcutt homered.
Yeah.
It's just cool watching that lineup. It's really cool seeing it's such a loaded lineup.
It's loaded.
And York wasn't even. I don't think York was playing. I don't think McDonough was playing. Do you guys like talk a lot of shop during games in between? Because it's got to be having that many good hitters has got to be a real smorgasbord of knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, especially whenever you're just kind of in the dugout, you're constantly just talking about pitcher. I mean, approaches, and it's really helpful with like you said, those guys in the dugout, because I mean they're such good players and really good hitters. So I mean, you kind of just pick their brain and see what they're thinking.
Yeah. One thing that sorry, Tim.
Sorry. What's usually your approach the first time through, like the first time you're up?
I mean, I usually kind of stick with the same approach. I mean, I'll get away from it depending on the pitcher, what he likes to throw in certain counts. The percentages of his pitches. But I like to just try to stay on balls, because where I get in trouble, I'll pull off balls sometimes. So I have to really set my sights right center, and that's what I do most of the time. And then I'll change it up depending on, if he throws 75% sliders and stuff, if he's throwing a sinker into my hip, so I'll have to change it here and there. But that's mostly what I do majority of the time.
How do you is it difficult? I mean, obviously it's difficult, but how do you identify what kind of pitch is coming for you? Is it just off of at the release point for them? Is it?
Yeah, it's
kind of. Oh, sorry.
You're right. It's the release point. Sometimes, they will release it at different spots. You can see it out of the hand. Sometimes you can see a hump in the pitch, like right when it comes out. But yeah, it's really just you have to pick up that spin early. And the real good pitches, they look like the fastballs, and then you don't realize it's a slider until it's halfway there and you've already started your swing, So, it's just being able to recognize that, and then afterwards, all right, take a deep breath, and then recognize that that's what the pitch that you just saw. You got to kind of process that every time.
It's amazing. It's amazing for me to see you guys just being able to, differentiate between a 95 mile an hour fastball and like an 83 mile an hour slider or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Being
able to gauge that is so. It just seems like so hard to do.
Yeah, it's super hard. There's guys that go up there, and like you were saying, I was talking to guys. I was talking to Nico. Nico and Hickey are actually both like this, but they'll go up there, and a lot of times they will just sit on one pitch. They don't kind of just react and hit, but they're more like, okay, I know this guy throws a bunch of changeups. I'm just going to sit on his changeup and crush it, So they would just take fastballs on the corners, like, all right, I don't want that pitch. Slider, I don't want that pitch. And then once he throws a changeup, it's getting crushed.
It's actually interesting that you mentioned that too, because with Nico and with Hickey, and also with you guys all draw a decent amount of walks. There's a good amount of patience in your approach.
Yeah, Nico and Hickey, that's part of their game. Their eye, especially Hickey. Hickey's eye is insane. But yeah, no, both of them draw a bunch of walks. I'd be scared to pitch to him.
Nico's that tear that he went on starting.
Unreal.
I guess you were there for both parts of it too. You were there in Salem, and then you followed him up to Greenville.
Yeah.
And that's I was just looking at those numbers. We were talking about this over at Sox Prospects, and it was I think the last person that we saw go on a tear like that was Ryan Lavard way back in 2010. I think something absolutely crazy like that. He hit 16 home runs in one month.
It was unreal. He just got on fire, and he just couldn't be stopped. Everything he was putting in play was either off the wall or over the wall. And it was insane to see. Scott Lee, you knew every time he got up to the plate he was either going to get walked or just crush a ball.
Yeah, that kind of power is it's not easy to find. And it's also interesting. You Hickey and Nico are all college players. Did you guys? Because I know that would have all been the same draft class. Did you guys know each other beforehand, or did you all meet at that year after being drafted?
So I knew Nico a little bit before. I played with some of his college teammates, so we knew of each other. Hickey, I did not know. We all met in Fort Myers for the first time when we got drafted.
Do you guys is there during that orientation process, are there like icebreaker sort of things, like bonding activities they have set up?
I think they did. Yeah, I think because we have a mental skills meeting. I remember, and I think we had a few icebreakers, kind of get everybody used to everybody, and that whole deal.
Do you hang out a lot outside of the ballpark?
Oh yeah, we hang out all the time. I mean, we're always together doing something.
Yeah. What because you were saying you went into New York City the other day when you were out there. What'd you get into there?
Oh, just went around looking at a bunch of stuff. It was so overwhelming. It was my first time there, so Hickey and Jax and we just went out there and I have a buddy that I played baseball with. He lives there now. But he just took us around, showed us, the 9/11 memorial, took it to us, big old skyscrapers, went around Times Square, did a bunch of stuff, just kind of walked around. It was awesome, though. It's kind of overwhelming, to be honest, though.
Yeah, New York City's intense. It's especially because I have family there, but growing up in Boston, people say Boston's a big city, and then you go to New York or Chicago, and it's like, oh, it's really not. It's really not that big by comparison.
Yeah.
Tim's from New York.
Are you?
Yeah. I've been to New York City quite a few times. My uncle lives there.
Yeah.
It's pretty big. I mean, it gets overwhelming, but I like it a lot. I enjoy it.
The buildings, I didn't like. They look massive in pictures, but once you get there, they're like, it hurts your head looking up at them.
Yeah.
Like they're huge.
Did you see the Statue of Liberty?
I did not. That's one thing I did want to see, though.
That's fun.
Yeah, I'll have to see that next time.
Yeah, Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island, that stuff's really interesting. Especially just because getting in the boat is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Get the chance to do the ferry. That's always good. But there's a lot of baseball around there, so I'm sure you'll get to go into that area again. When did you realize that the Red Sox organization really saw you as like something that, as a player, that was going to be moving up? I'm sure when you first go there, it's a little tough to kind of see, am I just going to be organizational depth? Do they really going to give me a good shot?
I mean, you just have to. I would say, I mean, I knew probably spring training. I knew they liked me a lot. I was I played in a few big league scrimmage games and stuff like that, and I talked with a few big league guys. Front office guys, I would say, and they like me. I mean, just that's when they really started kind of telling me that I just gotta make a few little adjustments, and I mean, just keep going.
Well, with those, so do you get to interact with a lot of the big leaguers?
Here and there, like at spring training, once you see them and stuff. Like I think I played in I think I traveled to one spring training game with the big league team to I forgot where it was at. It was the Pirates spring training facility.
Oh, I know which one.
Yeah, that's Bradenton.
Yeah, I went there, and it was awesome. It was sick. I forgot who had started for us. Who pitched last night for Boston?
Pavetta.
Yeah. He started the game then. Yeah. But it was awesome just being around those guys and just being in the same dugout with them.
Do you follow the big league stuff a lot? Do the guys down there generally keep up with the team? For
the most part, yeah. If the game's on, we always have it on in the locker room, and we keep up with it for the most part.
Who do you like watching on the roster currently?
Currently, he's not playing there currently, but Kike, he's one of my favorite guys to watch.
Yeah, he's someone they're definitely missing right now. With,
he's a game changer.
Have you always just been an outfielder?
No, I used to play shortstop in high school and pitch actually.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What kind of pitcher were you? What'd you throw?
and I was just gonna attack you with a heater. I was gonna throw it right at. I was gonna give it to you and just let you just roll it over or crush it, one of the two. But I actually have 2 appearances this year already. Yeah.
Are you the go-to guy?
I wasn't.
You didn't give up any runs. I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
You've got pretty decent numbers there.
I have, I think, 2 strikeouts, but it's I was the go-to guy in Salem whenever stuff kind of started hitting the fan. But it's fun though, man. I love going out there and competing on the mound. It's just totally different. I pitched. I was the closer at junior college, and then I went to TCU as a 2-way. But about probably halfway through the fall, I had a talk with the head coach, and we just kind of talked about kind of making that decision. It's kind of that time to start finding out what I actually wanted to do. So, chose the hitting route, the harder route, I would say.
Yeah, but you do get a lot more playing time that way.
Yeah, no, I can't. I wouldn't be able to stand just playing every other few days.
Yeah, something to be said for that. Now,
yeah,
it was pretty cool at that Greenville game. Afterwards, me and one of the other co-hosts were there, and we ended up talking to Brendan Salucci after, and he took a picture with Brady's kid, and it was pretty cool because he's 9 years old, just really starting to get into baseball, but something that his dad really emphasizes is that baseball, it's a very difficult field a difficult career to get into. You could be the 1% of the 1%, and you're still gonna just be but you're gonna make it to Triple A, not get necessarily get that chance in the big leagues. What would you have done? What would you have wanted to do if it wasn't baseball?
If it wasn't baseball, I couldn't even tell you, honestly. I don't even know. I went to school, got my. Well, I can't say I got my yet, but I'm a few credit hours away from getting my criminal justice degree. No, honestly, can't even say that I would use it. I don't know what I would go into yet. I don't know. I've always been around the game for such a long time. I love teaching it and teaching kids about it. I can't say for sure what I would do, but I feel like I'd want to be around the game in some form.
Do you like growing up, did you read a lot of baseball books? Did you read like Art of Hitting or anything like that? Or
no, I didn't read the Art of Hitting. I did see that book laying around for quite a long time though. I just never got around to reading it. But I didn't read a ton of baseball books. I kind of was just because I was playing baseball pretty much every weekend, a few times a week I was practicing. So I'm a big whenever I'm at the baseball field, I'm doing baseball stuff. But when I'm not, I try to just let my mind not really think about it a whole lot. I'm a big play a lot of video games. Like to go outdoors, do stuff outdoors, hang out with guys.
What are you? Oh, sorry, Tim.
Well, what's your go-to video game?
Man, I've been playing a lot of Apex lately, some Rocket League. Play a little bit of the show, but like I was telling you, I don't like doing a whole bunch of baseball stuff when I'm away from the field, So I try to stick away from the show. This game makes me mad.
Yeah, I play the show a lot. It gets on my nerves too.
Yeah, just irritates me. Call of Duty, I play a lot of Call of Duty too.
I've never played the shows. I'm not really a huge video game person, but are you a player in the show? Like how? Because I know they have like the Road to the Show feature with that.
You can create your own player, but I'm still waiting for one day to get my card in the game. Actually, I'm still waiting for that day. I'm gonna get it one day.
I think once you hit AA, they like scan you into the game. I think that's the lowest level they have.
Is it?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great to hear.
Just added motivation. This is going to be the Phillip Sikes 3 home run game is coming tonight.
Yeah, let's go.
Sorry, I thought that was going to.
No, you're good, Ed.
Okay, yeah. So I saw you. you've got a bunch of stolen bases. You're one of these guys that really, you hear the term 5-tool player get thrown around, but just judging from your numbers, from the way you play, you really can do a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Stolen bases, I feel like, don't get talked about a ton.
Not a ton, yeah.
But how do you go? How do you know when to go? How do you know when to time it? Are you just listening to the coaches? Is it instinct?
Yeah, it's kind of just instinct and just trusting it. We talk about leg times over there. So, I mean, if a guy's a really slow leg time, then we'll go super early in the count. I mean, it's all about the counts, too, and you got to know the game, the situation. But, yeah, if a guy's throwing a bunch of sliders, you can kind of – I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do to take it. But usually if the dude's kind of doing the same thing repetitive over and over, I'll go pretty early in the count. Lately, though, I feel like I haven't had a whole bunch of opportunities to steal. I feel like I've always had someone in front of me, or I don't know. I'm trying to get some more bags, though.
Do you have any goals with that as far as like numbers? I just always think about the Willie Mays Hayes in Major League where he's like hammering the gloves into the wall after each steal.
I mean, I did set a goal. So when I came back from All-Star break, I mean, I set one goal that I set before the end of the season was just I want to try to get 30 bags before the end of the season. I know I can do it. It's just about, am I going to have enough opportunities, to steal that many bags?
Yeah, just looking at it. I mean, you're halfway there right now. So
yeah. I mean, it'd be 2 bags a week, which is it's really not a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna putting the all of the high A catchers right now on notice that Phil's gonna be running against you.
Yeah. Just let them know right now.
Did you notice a big difference between the arms of catchers in Salem versus Greenville?
I haven't noticed. No, not quite yet. I would say when we were in Hudson Valley, we were playing against, I forgot what his name was, but he was a big league rehab guy, and he had an absolute.
Oh God, I know who you're. The one that they got with Donaldson, like Revolt or something like that.
Oh yeah, Ben Revolt.
Yeah. He has a cannon, but yeah, that's the only one I could say that I've been like, wow, since I've been up here.
Yeah, just watching some of these guys like Ronaldo Hernandez on the Blue Sox, like that's an absolute rifle there. You'll see guys that are like it looks like they're sliding in, and it's going to be like no contest, and he just gets in there. And that's
the classic Yadier Molina.
Yeah, that guy's the GOAT.
So what? And this is a question from one of our other co-hosts. But what's something about baseball, the day-to-day grind that you have that would surprise people?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I would say the hardest part is just being able. I'm trying to think of what it would surprise people. I don't really know. I mean, we're kind of just in the same routine every day. I mean, once you get in that routine, you just stick to doing the same thing every single day, pretty much. I mean, I get up 9 o'clock, eat my breakfast, chill out a little bit, take a shower. We'll leave here around 12:30, get to the field, eat Chipotle. We get Chipotle like 3 times a week. 3 times a week, and I don't even like Chipotle that much. But so yeah, we do that, and we're at the field. So we get there around like 1:30, and we're at the field. I mean, quite a long time, and we do that every day. But I mean, it's just that consistent, that consistent routine. I mean, that just staying in that just really helps, At least that's what I feel like. I'm trying to think though, what was something that would surprise people. I don't know. I'll have to think about it.
I have a hard-hitting question.
What is it?
Are you a bowl or a burrito guy at Chipotle?
I'm a bowl.
Okay.
I'm a bowl all the time. Yeah, we used to get those burritos all the time, and man, they were so big, and I just couldn't. Yeah. It was too much, honestly.
It's like 2 or 3 meals if you get a burrito.
Like all the rice is on one side and all the meat's on the other. It's never,
Yeah, it's not. It just gets all over you too. It's you can't really put it. put it down or anything. It's just sauce. And yeah, no, bowl. I completely agree. A bowl guy too.
Bowl all the way.
What? I mean, again with the hard hitting questions, but if not Chipotle, what would you go with? What's your top? Your top pick?
Oof, man. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of pregame. Usually, what we get hibachi a lot. I like the hibachi we get. Man, we honestly don't get any food that I like at the fields. we honestly don't. We don't get any Chick-fil-A. We don't get any. What else? We don't get any Subway. I mean, I would say I love me some Culver's too. I love some Culver's.
What is Culver's?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's like a little burger place, but it have like custard as well. It's really good.
Oh man, that is such a because we don't have much custard up in the Northeast. That definitely sounds like a southern spot. I remember being really surprised that like Carl's Jr.'s is as big as it is in the South also.
Yeah, it is pretty big, honestly. But I will say I don't really go to Carl's Jr.'s that often. Arby's.
I've never been to either. Well, Arby's. No, I've been to Arby's. I've never been to a Carl's Jr. But they're advertised here constantly. Yeah. I've never even seen one up around here.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
I've been like once or twice.
I remember seeing them a bunch in Tempe because they had that, and they had like there was like Taco Bell, and I mean, like it was like right by the university.
Yeah, In-N-Outs. Yeah. I love Whataburger too.
That's another really good one that you don't.
I love some Whataburger.
They don't have that. If they opened up Whataburger or In-N-Out up in New England, I think I'd be dead relatively quickly, or like would need some kind. I would be in really good health. I just need time.
Oh yeah, that'd be bad.
Do you have a Cane's around you?
Do we have Cane's? I think we have one in Boston. It's like chicken fingers.
Yeah, Cane's. Yeah.
The closest one to me is like 3.5 hours away.
Really?
Have you ever done that drive? Have you ever gone?
No.
If Harold and Kumar had it right. Sometimes you just want that specific, just shitty food.
You do.
I've done that with Chick-fil-A before. I think I've driven about 45 minutes for Chick-fil-A.
Really?
Wow. Oh my god, that sauce is so good though. Like it's not.
That's the closest one to me. I did that drive. It's worth it.
They started selling the sauces at the supermarket, and now I don't have to do that anymore because that's more. It's like with Popeyes and KFC and all of those. I don't. The chicken's going to be good no matter where you go. It's the dipping sauce. It's entirely the dipping sauce.
So what do you think? What would you say? Have you had the Popeyes chicken sandwich?
I haven't. No, I don't usually. I don't usually do the sandwiches. I usually will go tenders, popcorn chicken, that kind of thing.
I usually do too. The chicken sandwich is good though. It's a lot different than Chick-fil-A, I would say.
Chick-fil-A's is better.
Is it? Yeah. I would say they're good in their own ways. They're kind of. But I've had a really good Popeyes chicken sandwich before. I can say that.
My sister is just, she's really obsessed with Popeyes. And she lives in Mexico City, so they don't have it there. And every time she comes back, it's just like, well, we're going to Popeyes. There used to be the one right by Fenway, and that closed during the pandemic. And now we don't know where the nearest Popeyes is. I think that was, that might be part of why she doesn't really come back to visit too much anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big... This might be like my most controversial take about anything. Not a big sandwich person. I like them, but I don't like soggy bread. And so many sandwiches, especially if you have meat in it, it's going to get wet.
Especially whenever they cater like that, it's always some soggy. I like my Subway sandwich. I can just see get made right there and then just eat it real quick.
Yeah. No, see, that's what's great about Subway too, is just that you get the exact amount you want on it. You're seeing you do it. Subway's always been my. This is going to sound way more insulting than it actually is, but it's my road stop place. Gas stations. If you're stopping somewhere, give me that steak and cheese. It's safe. It's absolutely safe.
It's reliable.
Yeah, so as you were talking about this earlier, this is just getting a little bit back to baseball, but you were talking about like moving into the apartments and all of that stuff. Do they provide, as far as food goes? Do they like provide that as well, or do you have like a budget for that?
So they provide the meals. So they will provide us once we get to the field at 1:30. We'll get a meal, and then they'll provide post-game meal. And then when we're on the road, they'll give us like $20 a day for meal money or something like that. But it's not bad, you know. It's enough, I would say.
That sounds bad. There was a guy I remember. There was a guy that I was talking to, and he was a minor leaguer in like 2000, 2001, so it was a while ago. But I just remember him talking about how they would be staying at like a Quality Inn or something like that, and they have like the continental breakfast where all the food's set up, and they'd wait until that had all closed, and then somebody would crawl under it and take all the cereal boxes for everybody, like all the little
the little cereal, the travel cereals,
yeah.
That's
And he would, because it was just like, well, we didn't really want to have to spend on it for like the week that we're the home team, so we'd just go about it.
That's funny.
And stock up.
Yeah, that's smart. That's funny.
Yeah, no, that was what I thought. That was, and I think he's a coach with the Diamondbacks now. Jeff Bahanaru. He was a funny guy. But do you see guys doing stuff like that to kind of try to be thrifty with it? Because again, like I know the pay is what it is. I'm just curious if there are guys doing stuff.
I've never seen guys do that yet. But I mean, there is a whole lot of, especially when we're on the road, there's a whole lot of door dashing and Uber Eats like constantly. So I mean, I remember last road trip that we had a bus that went early in the morning to like to a Walmart, and we just kind of like, I remember I just got some like sandwich stuff, so I didn't have to literally every meal just DoorDash or Uber Eats. So I mean, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's funny how I feel like there are some people that just are perfectly content eating out every single meal. My dad's like that. Anytime I go and visit him, it's like, well, where are we going tonight? And it's like, I don't.
I need a home cooked meal. You know, yeah.
But I mean, what's your go-to if you're like getting sandwich stuff or whatever? What's your like go-to meal?
Man, my go-to meal. What I get? You got the regular old. I can eat bologna, turkey, ham, really any of it. As long as I have some mustard and some cheese, I'm fine.
Mustard's definitely the winning condiment there.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, do you guys have as far as do players tend to be like active in the dating scene or that kind of thing during the season?
Yeah. I mean, I would say majority of the guys probably have girlfriends, if not wives. And then, I mean, if you're not, then you're either not doing anything or you're all over the dating apps. So there's no in between, you know? There's no in between.
No, because I just remember I had a friend who lived out in like Worcester, and every now and then she would like see somebody who was pitching for it was the Paw Sox at the time.
Yeah.
And like would be like, so what can you tell me about Austin Maddox? What should I know about him? Like that sort of thing. Yeah. That's I feel like if you're a pro athlete and you're just like bouncing from town to town like that, it's just gotta be an absolute blast. Now, do you have a girlfriend or? Yeah,
I have a girlfriend, 2.5 years. She plays soccer at TCU.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's nice. But yeah, no, it's definitely fun for those guys. I would say that.
Yeah. And you don't have to. You certainly don't have to answer this. But is there any player on the team that you know that you just know for a fact is doing this? Or
I mean, who? Whenever I was in Salem, my roommate Tyler Miller was all over it. I can say that he was all over it. I know that for a fact because I was in the apartment with him. But since I've been here in Greenville, I can't say that I've just noticed anybody kind of sticking out like a sore thumb on that topic. I'm sure I will here in the next few weeks, though. I'm sure I'll start kind of seeing who the guys are.
So it's good to know about Tyler Miller, though. Did you do you guys pick the roommates, or is it kind of just assigned?
It's kind of you. you give them a suggestion of like who you'd like to live with. I mean, they don't have to room you all together, but they usually do. I think.
Who are you rooming with in Greenville?
In Greenville right now, I'm with McDonough and Nico right now.
Nice. So yeah, that college dude. So you and Nico really have kind of moved through together so far.
Yeah. Yep.
He's super. Like, something that I've noticed about him also is that he has such a. You don't always see this with the minor leaguers. He's got a fan base, and it's not just Notre Dame guys. He's
loved.
popular.
He's. I mean, and it's because he has a great personality. He's a teddy bear. He looks like he's mean, but he's an awesome guy.
I feel like Greenville's like just made of guys like that. Like Joe Davis is gotta be like just a folk hero. You know?
Yeah.
Like, the guy had a bobblehead made for last year.
His bobblehead is awesome.
Have you? Because he like makes his own beef jerky or something like that, right? How have you gotten to try it?
I haven't yet. I'll have to try it though, because I did read that on his bobblehead little thing, but I'll have to try it.
Yeah, that would be. My favorite story with him was that him and Steven Scott were like living together in a trailer, and they have like bunk beds, and they make beef jerky together. And they call each other the Meatball Brothers. Like how do you not root for a guy like that?
Yeah.
You know?
Golly, Big Joe. He was an awesome dude too. We went.
Power.
Oh, his power is between him and Nico. There's a lot of homers right there.
Do him and Nico and like Nick Northcutt, are those guys ever doing like home run derby or anything like that during batting practice?
If anything, it'd be like, all right. I mean, on our last round, it's just see who can hit the furthest ball. Just kind of messing around, you know. Make it a little fun.
What's the furthest you've seen one of them hit it?
I've seen Nico hit a ball 500 plus feet in batting practice.
Wow.
At Salem, yeah. At Salem.
That's got to be so much fun because you were saying with that being a graveyard and everything, and I'm just thinking about how many home runs he hit there before his like there was. I just remember because like I'm following these stats every day, and it's just like, oh, he hit one today. Oh, he hit one again. And you look at like the game log for the weekend, it's like he's hit home runs in 5 consecutive games twice this month. Like at that level, it's just
it's insane.
It's going to be really interesting to see how they move.
Yeah, how they
like all of you guys, honestly, through the system now. Like just because the timing, it's always hard for me to gauge with the timing. You don't usually see guys jumping more than one level per year, but it's a bunch of college players. You guys are a good class, honestly. Like it's been
we got a solid group.
So we're almost out of time here. Do you have any other questions that you're really waiting to ask Tim?
I'm all set. I'm just kind of taking it in, seeing what you guys talk about, and then chiming in.
Yeah, Tim's Tim. How old are you, Tim?
I'm 20. I'm 21.
Okay, so you're the youngest on the show, I think.
Yeah, I am.
Let's go, Tim.
But that's so. I'm sorry. I like this is just making me feel old now. It's like because I know Phil, you're like what, like 23.
23. Yeah, I'm feeling old too. Golly.
I'm 32. You don't get to say you're feeling old. I know I'm not the old man on the show or anything, but yeah, you guys. You guys are children. Yeah, no, thank you again. Thank you again for doing this.
I appreciate it.
I guess one last question that I've got for you before we take off, and that's what are your plans for the winter? Are you going to be doing winter ball? Are you going to be just be keeping in shape?
Yeah. I'm kind of waiting to see as far as with the winter ball if I'm going to do that or not. But I mean, if not, I'll go back Fort Worth, Dallas. I'll train at TCU with our strength coach there. Try to put on 10, 15 pounds. Just bulk up a little bit. Just train with a few guys that come back. We have a few guys like Matt Carpenter, Luke and Baker, a few of those guys from that area that come back and train. So it's pretty nice.
Oh, that's cool. You gonna grow a mustache like Carpenter's?
Man, his mustache is something. Probably not. Probably not.
Is it just me, or is that a trend right now that ball players are just growing their mustaches?
I think it
back?
is. It's definitely a trend, I think, right now, for sure. I'm seeing a lot more mustaches than usual.
Yeah, just like looking like because I was at like the Red Sox Yankee game a couple weeks ago, and I just remember thinking like Nestor Cortez was pitching. And
Nestor
like,
Cortez.
Him and Matt Carpenter was like Mario and Luigi. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane.
Well, thanks again, Phil. Really appreciate this. Best
Anytime.
of luck for the rest of the season, and maybe next see where you're at next year and do another check-in at some point with that, because this is just absolutely blast there.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you again. Well, good luck with your week this week. I know you got 6 games coming up because that's how the minors are doing things. But
good luck on the rest of the season.
I appreciate it, Tim.
Stay in touch, and anything just for people. Where can they follow you online?
Yeah, follow me online. Yeah, Twitter, whatever. Yep.
See you all next time.
Perfect. I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Pesky Report. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review.
Thank you for listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.